over here, this is how to write the product of a chemical equation case 2. Alright, please remember, if you have not watched the case 1, I will advise you to kindly look for how to write the product of a chemical equation case 1. Because for you to understand this case 2, you must have first of all understand the case 1. Alright, let's quickly look at our case 2, how to write the product of a chemical equation case 2. Moreover, if you have not watched the case 1, please quickly go to the search how to write the chemical product of a chemical equation case 1. Alright, now let's look at this. This is where you have the major things, and this is where most of you struggle as a student. Do you understand? This is the major work over here. But if you have understand the case 1 aspect, then you dealing with case 2 will not be a problem. Alright, now look at this. In this case 1, in this case 2, these are the rules. And I says identify the cations and the anion present in each of the compound. And I say that the first element in any compound represent the word cation, because I know that most of you are going to have a problem of how do I know the cation. Now, in any compound that now look at this. Look at this reaction. We are having sodium chloride reacting with calcium tetraoxosulfate 6. Now, and you want to form the product of this what reaction. Now, follow the rule. The first element under NaCl is Na. You can see it, right? So, an Na, that is your cation. Then the remaining one becomes your what? Anion. Now, look at this. So, this is Na. I will quickly write Na, what? Cl. Now, the charge of Na from our first video is +1, while the charge of Cl from our video is what? -1. So these are the cations and the anion present in NaCl. Then you now write plus. Now this is calcium tetraoxosulfate 6. And remember, the first what element is the cation. The first element here is what? Ca. So I will quickly write Ca. So the remaining one is the what? Anion. So I will write SO4. So what is the charge of Ca? If you go through the first video, the charge of Ca is +2 and the charge of SO4 is -2. Now look at this. You have identified the cations and the anion present in each of the compound. Now your problem is already over, because what you are going to do here is to apply the case 1 rule. What we have learned from the case 1, that is what you are going to do here automatically. So what does that mean? The cation here, that's why I remember in case 1 I told you that put the negative first. No, the cation must come first. So look at it here. The positive one here will react with the negative one here to give you the first product. Then after that, the positive one that is here will react with the negative one that is here to give you the second product. Now look at it. The positive one in this first compound is Na +1. So it is going to react with the negative one that is in this other side, which is what? SO4 -2. Now, following what we have learned so far in our case 1, we said you join them together, ignoring the charges. So how we join them together, we are going to have NaSO4, right? Now, according to the rule, we said we check whether they have the same number to know whether you will leave it like that or whether you will exchange their numbers. Now, but while looking at this, you will find out that they do not have the same what? Number. This one is 2 and this one is 1. So following what we did, you exchange. So Na will receive what? 2, right? Now this SO4 will receive 1, but there's no need of putting the 1 there, because I told you guys in the other video that if what the other person is exchanging is 1, there is no need of you putting it there. So this is your first product. So I will quickly write it over here, Na2SO4. Now how do you form your second product? It's very simple. So remember, the positive one here reacted with the negative one that is here. So this time around, the positive one that is here will now come and react with the negative one that is here. We are going to have Ca2 plus reacting with Cl -1. Now, following our normal rule, you join them together, you are going to have Cl, CaCl. Now, what's the next thing we do? You check whether they have the same number. Of course, they don't have the same number, so you are going to exchange. Now, Cl will receive what? 2. Why Ca will receive 1? But because what we are exchanging is 1, you don't need to put that 1 over there. Alright, and this becomes your what? Second product, CaCl2. Now, you can see how easy it is, right? So, but before you can be able to tackle this, you must have understand the video of case 1. All right, let me give you one more example and then we call it a day. Okay, look at this one. Let me say that I have something like HNO3, maybe reacting with something like, which one am I gonna use now? Okay, reacting with something like Na2 SO4. Okay, right. Let me use this one. Now let's do the same thing. So identify the cations and the anions present in each of the what compound. Now remember that the first element in any compound represent the cation. So look at this HNO3. The first element here is what? H, right? Okay. So I quickly bring out what? H, right? Now the next one is what? NO3. What is the charge of H? From our first video, charge of H is +1, NO3 is -1. Then you come over to the second compound. The second compound is sodium tetraoxosulfate 6. Alright, now the first element here is what? Na. Now, these are the common mistake that you guys might encounter. Look at this. I know that in this compound, the sodium is written as Na2, right? But if you go to the list of cation and anion, you will find out that in the list of cations and anion, sodium is written as what? Na. Am I communicating? So if you are bringing out the cation that is here, you dare not write Na2 because you are seeing Na2 here. Am I communicating? But rather, you are bringing out the cations and anion exactly the same way they are in their list. Do you understand? So even if maybe in the compound that hydrogen is carrying 3 or anything, you don't include it. Make sure that you are bringing them out according to how they are being represented in the list of cations and anions. So despite the fact that sodium is having 2 here, but this is not how sodium is being written in the list of cations and anions. But in the list of cations and anions, sodium is written like this. It doesn't have any number downward. So that is it. Then the remaining one becomes your what? Anion. Then the charge of sodium is +1. The charge of this one is what? -2. Alright, so what are we going to do here? Cation here will react with the anion. And after that, cation here will react with the anion here to give you the second product. Now it's very simple. So what are we going to do here? I will now have my H plus reacting with what? SO4 -2. So what will I do? You join them together. You will now write HSO4. Alright, now did they have the same number? No, you exchange. So hydrogen will receive what? 2. This one will receive 1, but there is no need of you putting the 1 over here. And this becomes your first product. So I will write H2SO4 plus, now to form your second product, just like the cation here, we now go back and react with the anion that is over here. So I will write Na plus 1 reacting with NO3 -1. So following the rule, just join them together. You are gonna have NaNO3, right? Now, if you look at this, they have the same number, 1, 1, right? According to our rule, whenever they have the same number, what you are going to do is to leave it what? Like that. So I will leave this one like this. So the second product becomes NaNO3. Alright, and this is it. So with this, you can be able to, so understanding the basic of case 1 and case 2, this will help you to write the product of a chemical equation that most of you students have been what? Struggling with. Alright, just like I said earlier in the video, quickly go to the comment section. You will see a link. The first link over there, that is a link to my WhatsApp group where we are going to have our free class that is starting on August. And it's going to be 1 month free class for all classes, whether arts or science. So I'm expecting to see more of you over there. Thank you for listening.